Dave Miller is the co-founder of and CEO of Iroquois Valley Farmland REIT. Rooted by its heritage in Iroquois County, Illinois, by his heritage there, Mr. Miller returned to his native farming community in 2005 after a 30-year career in banking and real estate financial management. And in 2007, he started Iroquois Valley by connecting a small group of family and friends to a 142-acre farm. Prior to seeding Sustainable Farmland Ventures, Mr. Miller held executive positions at Bank of America, Santa Fe Southern Pacific, and First Chicago Corporation. His extensive experience in structuring alternative real estate investments led to the formation of Iroquois Valley Farmland REIT, the first private company in the U.S. to integrate farmland and organic food production using mostly mid-sized family farmers. Dave will tell us today about Iroquois Valley Farmland REIT and their strategies in real assets and private debt.
Thank you, Christy, and thank you, Croatan Institute, for helping put this whole thing together. We appreciate that opportunity. I'm working at advancing the slide to the next slide. There we go. Okay, thank you. So Iroquois Valley Farmland REIT goes back to 2007 when Dr. Stephen Rivard and I were fed up with the financial crisis at the time and wanted to put together an entity that would engage investors with something real and healthy to invest in. So that was our beginnings. And we started slow with one farm and moved on from there. I don't have the control to advance the slides. If you could pass that on to me, that'd be great. There we go. So we are now a real estate investment trust that is doing operations, doing business in 14 states. We have investors in over 40 states. The investors, for the most part, are small to middle-sized investors. And that's important to know because our roots are really in family farm country, also known as the dead soil monoculture, but that is what we are wired to change. So we have, in fact, we have, I'll just outline very quickly that we do have a public offering that's sitting at the SEC, and what we want to do is go directly to small and mid-sized investors to really scale the change that everybody's talking about. We are a finance company once again, so we do leases and we do mortgages. That is our primary business. We've done this for years. We really are wired as a operating company. So that's good to know because 50% of the capital that we raise is going back into farmers. And so we really keyed from the beginning with regard to the health side on supporting these farmers. So we wanted to set up an entity that was flexible enough to do that. So from that point of view, we're really not a fund. We're not really a limited partnership. We really view ourselves and have always as an operating company. Financing primarily farm entrepreneurs, and we'll get into some of that. But we didn't know at the beginning that we were an impact investment. That was something that came to us later. And I said to the social enterprise director at Northwestern University that I didn't know what that was, and she told me we were in an impact investment. So, you know, we just thought that encouraging the greater production of healthy foods would be good business. So that's what we've been trying to do from the beginning. And lo and behold, as we all know, there's just a ton of wonderful benefits with creating more healthy soils. You know, we see this as a process. You really don't start in with a dead soil structure, farm, community. You know, there's a lot of non-living entities out there, farmers and farmland. So, you know, you really got to get the process started, which means stop the killing. That's really the first step, and has been our first step for many years. Thank you. Just click on it. So when you see that only 1% of farmland is organic, what does that say? Well, it says a lot of things. It says that, well, does that mean 99% is dead? You know, an awful lot of it is. So, you know, as David and Craig and Alyssa have alluded to, there's an awful lot of capital that's got to come into this space. And look at the opportunity, really, from an investment point of view, it's incredible. There's very few asset classes out there where the upside is so huge and so impactful. So you investors in the audience, please keep learning more about this asset class. You know, our returns from the get-go are averaging in the 9% range. So, you know, we like to say that within the asset class of sustainable agriculture, you can expect us to provide a superior return and not inferior. So that should be the expectation. You know, more healthy, more productive soils means more profit. And it takes a long time to develop that. So you really have to have put together an entity that can be there for the long term. So when we started our company, we told the investors there was no exit. So I don't want to scare everybody off this video here, but we did that for a reason. We had to build the trust of the farmers and the farm community in us. So after 7 years, we built an exit, and now we have a redemption program in place, and we make that better every year. But unless you're really building the trust of the farmers, and unless you've really set something in place that can be there for the long term, what did you really do? So this is one reason we feel that it's a social impact to reach out to small investors. That is probably going to be the biggest impact that we'll have for many years. It's also costing a lot of money, but I think it's well worth it. Here's an example of a farm. Once again, I mentioned that we work with mostly small to middle-sized family farmers. So really, you know, we're connecting family investors with family farmers, and that's been going on for years. This is a millennial farm family, and I'll show you a pie chart coming up about what percentage of our company is millennials, but they happen to be first, second generation. This is about $1 million purchase in the Shenandoah Valley. It's leased to this young farm family who is, you know, 100% grass-fed, pastured dairy operation. In fact, they produce raw milk, and they've been growing a raw milk business. And they're already coming back to us for more land. So, you know, one of the things about scaling this change is that almost all these farmers want to have more land. So here's the pie chart on our farmer age demographics. Almost 68% of our tenants, of our farm tenants, are millennials. And then there's a few baby boomers that, but you know, they're disappearing, and that's creating the opportunity for change. We always say old farmers don't change, but they do pass away. And you know, that creates the new opportunity, so to speak, for this next generation. If you look at the pie chart to the right, that will tell you that we're reinvesting multiple times into those farm families. So mostly we have millennial farm families, and we're reinvesting 1, 2, 3, even 5 times in those farm families. So that's the good news. You know, that reflects that this is working, the change is happening, and these farmers are growing their businesses. As an investor, you get a piece of that growth because our leases mostly have some type of an upside in revenues. If the farmers do well, the company does well too. The investment map to the lower left, we started in the Midwest, we went east, now we're going a little bit west. We don't have to be in every state, but you know, it reflects our roots in what I still call the dead soil monoculture. As we expand operations, more diversity comes with it. If you look at the production mix, there is a lot of organic corn, organic soybeans, once again, and now a lot more pastured operations. You know, in the beginning we were one farm. Now we've impacted over 50 farm families. So diversity is growing really farmer by farmer. We issue both equity shares, and I mentioned that, well, I may not have mentioned the new minimum for our equity will be $10,000. So we're really reaching, you know, to the public investment market. Very excited about that. We also issue fixed rate notes to fund our growth as well. This is the DPO. So we're really calling it a direct public offering. We're not hiring an investment banking firm to underwrite this for us. We're really going straight to investors as we have since the beginning. Here is an email address to get more information about Iroquois Valley Farmland REIT. I'm happy to answer questions here as we go. Thank you.